Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 148 of the Revive Yourself podcast. Here we go.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Have you got a health issue that just won't go away no matter what you try? Then welcome to the Revive Yourself podcast, where we reveal the secrets to long-lasting health by getting to the root cause of problems that no one else is talking about. So you can have more energy, clear skin, healthier hair, a leaner physique, more confidence, and most importantly, do the things you love and live the life you deserve. Here's your host, Ryan Martin.
So, welcome back to the show, everybody. Episode 148. This was actually meant to be out last week. Unfortunately, I had something crop up, a family emergency I had to get to. So, this is out today. We've actually got a really good show lined up for you, which I'll get to in a minute. As always, just want to mention a few things that you can, if you're looking to increase your health, where you can head over to, which is the Revive Yourself shop. If you go to www.reviveyourself.co and you click on our shop, we've got a whole host of different supplements you can use, and especially with this whole coronavirus thing coming out, which in fact I might do a show next week on that on my own, or just give you some tips. But you know, as Louis Pasteur finally said on his deathbed, you know, the germ is nothing, the terrain is everything. And if you have a healthy internal terrain, you're never going to catch a flu or a virus. It won't be able to embed itself. It won't be able to proliferate and breed, because your body will be, well, it's expel it. It won't be able to get in and take over. So making sure you have a healthy internal terrain. So what that means is actually having a healthy gut microbiome, healthy bacteria in there, and free of toxins, and then making sure you get rid of heavy metals, parasites, protozoa, bacteria. It's a very, very important thing. So I'd say this week, I'd say look for the probiotics on our site. If you go to the Evolution Organics banner, underneath that you've got Dr. McCullough's probiotics. Also any of the greens drinks there from Living Fuel, from Organics, or Dr. McCullough as well. Any of those green drinks are going to flood your body with concentrated nutrients, going to help to take away any inflammation, going to promote, it's going to also help with any free radical damage, full of antioxidants, great for it boosting immunity, eye health, liver health. A lot of them have got beneficial bacteria in there as well, a lot of fiber, so it's going to really help your internal system. So the probiotics, the greens. Also, we've got a great liposomal vitamin C from LipoLife, which if you go down to the Ancient Purity banner, you can find it there. And we've also got a liposomal vitamin D3K2 as well, which I'd recommend. Those things are going to be very, very powerful in boosting your immune system. Those three. And as always, stay away from processed refined foods, refined sugar, alcohol, caffeine, pasteurized, homogenized dairy. That's going to go a long way to keeping you happy and healthy. Don't miss out on those products if you want to stay happy, healthy. I'd say the greens, the probiotic, vitamin C, and the vitamin D are essential. Living Fuel, it just covers everything. If you want something to cover everything, it's a meal replacement or a supplement, then go for that too. Also, don't know, the other thing I'd recommend, you can get some essential olive oregano essential oils, and you can have like a drop of that in olive oil, which would be very, very powerful. If you feel yourself going down with something, it's a really, really good way to boost the immune system. And you can go to essentialoilwizardry.com and you can look for that. Their essential oil in olive oregano or any other oils. Put in the code REVIVE, you get 10% off. Another way as well to boost your immune system is to get enough sleep. Sleep's powerful. It's more powerful than any herb or drug on the planet. And you'll never reach your full health potential if you're not getting enough sleep. So really, really vital to get sound sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours for most adults. Something that stops us getting to sleep is blue light at night, which switches off your production of serotonin and melatonin. It's been shown to alter mitochondrial function. So one of the things you can do is you can wear blue blocking glasses. And if you head over to Blue Blocks, that's BLUBLOX.com, put in the code REVIVE, you're going to get 10% off. The most stylish and best blue blocking glasses on the planet from my main man Andy Mant over there. And even if you want your own frames, you can send them your own frames, and they'll put them in too. They'll put their lenses in for you too. They've also got their blue light blocking glasses for the daytime that you can use on your laptop to stop the artificial light coming off, which is very, very powerful. And whole house filtration systems for the water. That's nothing can lower your immune system. Having the wrong, or drinking the wrong water, I'll say toxic water, full of parasites, heavy metals, toxins, etc. So we've got our whole house filtration systems from Aquaterra. If you've got a 1, 2, 3 or 4 bed house, whatever you've got, hard or soft water, we've got an option for you. Okay, so that's it for the introduction of the show. Oh, I have missed out one thing. My book, which is still going well. People are loving it. So if you go to www.thechronicfatiguesolution.com, that's www.thechronicfatiguesolution.com, be able to buy your book, or you can get the audio version, the hard copy or the audio version. It will take about 21 days to come if you get looking for the hard copy, because you've got to order it, got to process it, we then got to print it for you. You get your own individual version printed, and then it gets sent out to you. So on the thing I have mentioned about 10 days or so, but it's going to be longer, but it will get there, just because you have to print it off for your own personal copy. But yeah, if you've got chronic fatigue or any other chronic illness, the book's going to give you the 3 big secrets to health, as well as lots of other tips, protocols, and 52 things you can do straight away to start boosting your health. So, on to today's guest. Today I have someone I've known through social media for quite a few years now, and that's Matt Smith. He's a great guy, great person, helps people get and reach their full potential, get to where they want it in life, the body they want, works on their health, and lots of other things as well, actually, in terms of just removing blockages. And today we're talking all about self-sabotage, limiting beliefs, and why you actually are enough, and how you can get to the goals that you want to achieve, by removing those blockages. So without further ado, here's Matt. Enjoy the show, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah. Same here, mate.
Yeah, you're up in Worcester, aren't you?
I am, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to go to Hartbury College, which is
just seen that on your profile.
Yeah. So it's not too far. We used to go to Worcester, like we played Worcester and stuff, and also we used to go and watch Worcester a couple of times rugby. But I remember like the river Tewkesbury, is it? It used to always be underwater. You're not near that?
Yeah. I'm not at the moment, no. But yeah, it's burst its banks badly at the moment. It's the worst flood Worcester and Tewkesbury have seen for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, basically it flooded like every year, so now it must be really bad because, as you said, worst you've ever seen, so it's not surprising. It's been like that all over.
Yeah.
All over, really. I've seen some of the pictures in York.
Yeah, it has.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it sounds. Your sounds okay? Yeah.
My sound's right, yeah. Is it not coming through that good on your end?
No, it's okay. I just got a tiny bit. I think it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Cool. So, matey boy, how's things been going anyway? How's life?
Really good, thanks, mate. Things just keep getting better and better, mate. It's honestly, mate, I can't. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's been a big year for me. But the last 3 or 4 years, it's just gone amazing. I've taken time out to focus on me, putting me first, and that's just showing up now in my outside world. Everything's just getting really good, mate. Yeah. Really good.
Well, you can get into how it's gone to that, because I think I've known of you for quite a few years now. We've always been back and forth, always had little messages on Facebook, etc. And because just for people when we go get into it, I want to give you a bit of a background on yourself so people can know a bit more about you. But it seems like your approach has sort of changed a little bit in terms of who you're maybe helping a little bit and stuff. And I see you've got a Man on Fire program, and having looked through your site, and a couple of things I really want to touch on. But yeah, for people out there, Matt, how did you get into coaching, and what was your sort of journey into it?
It was an evolution, mate. Long story short, I was playing golf when I was younger. Dream of being a pro golfer, and I was like, yeah, that's my thing, pro golfer. And then I got to 18, 19, and then looking back now, I know what the reasons why I stopped playing golf. But what I started doing at 18, 19, I started comparing myself to everyone who was better than me. So then I told the story of I'm not good enough. And then I stopped playing golf. So I went on this mission to be like, right, I'm driven. I want to be successful. I want all the nice things that this world has to offer. How can I do that? And I started searching in the outside world. I was like, right, estate agents, they make like loads of money. I watched a reality TV show about like in America, how this one guy made like 200 grand commission on one house. I'm like, done, I'll do that. And then I tried a few other things as well. Like I tried chefing, I tried started my own business, selling stuff on eBay and stuff, and nothing was really working. And then I had a really good mentor 10, 11 years ago, not like a hired business coach online or anything like that. It's just a guy came into my life. And he said, long story short, he said, if you want to be successful in this world, do two things. One, do something you enjoy, and two, do something where you're helping people. And I'd always enjoyed like health and fitness. I'd always enjoyed like going to the gym, being in shape, sport. That was like my thing. So I tied that in with, well, how can I help people with that? And I Googled careers in fitness, whatever. And personal training had just started getting like popular. So I'll go down the personal training route. That's what I enjoy. It's how I can help people. Started personal training people, and I've kind of done that for the last decade. And I still have a couple of PT clients. But about 4 or 5 years ago, I just didn't want to do it anymore, the exercising people. And I wanted to go deeper because I had this frustration of like, I can exercise people with my eyes closed, that's fine. But for some reason, people weren't adhering to the stuff outside of the sessions. And I was like, right, human behavior. I want to get into human behavior. So I got into human behavior, learn about the brain, psychology, why we do what we do. Even though we say we want to do a certain thing, we don't do it, or we self-sabotage, quote, to use that. We might touch on that a little bit later. And I was like, why? I need to know why. People come into me and say they wanted to do a certain thing, but their actions didn't align with their words. So why? And so I went on this journey of that. And also myself as well. I was like, well, why? I want to be successful and earn all the monies and stuff and great relationships and great health. So why am I sabotaging that? And I did that with my business again about 4 or 5 years ago. I really sabotaged my business, made a bad business decision, sabotaged the hell out of it. Lost a load of money, messed up family, health was all over the place. I was like, why have I done that? And again, so I went on my own personal journey, and I've come out the back end of that. I think it's like life is just a continuous personal journey anyway. So I'm not saying I'm done, I'm complete, fixed, healed, I'm like end product done. It'll be a constant evolution for the whole of my life. I know that. But I've come out the back end of the beliefs that weren't serving me, that were keeping me stuck, that were keeping me self-sabotaging. And now I'm stepping into giving that back to people. Because before I was like out of shape, got into shape. I'm like, cool, I can give that back to people. Now I'm like, now I know why we all do the thing, why I know human behavior now. I know why if you come to me and say, Matt, I want this thing, but I can't do it, or I keep sabotaging, or my actions don't align with my words. I'm like, oh, here's why. So then I pick that out of people, put the new stuff in, and then they go and get what they want. And life just gets to get better and better and better. So it was an evolution away from PT 4 or 5 years ago into more coaching with people now, like going real deep and helping. And it just, the stuff I do now works across every area of your life. So whether you want to get into shape, whether you want all the money, whether you want great relationships, whether you want inner peace, the principles for achieving all of that are exactly the same.
Right. Awesome, man. I'm going to touch on quite a bit of that. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, especially, didn't get into it. So 100%, I've done similar things myself in terms of, I know about health, but a lot of stuff I do now as well, a lot of it's mental, emotional work as well, clearing, because people hold a lot of dis-ease in their body when it comes to that as well, and not thinking that enough. And it's amazing what you can do. It's what I always say to people, it's nowhere near this nutrition, but there's so much that we go into, and I've been through the same sort of evolution. I've always known about nutrition and what needed to happen that way, but then it was, oh my God, right, what are these limiting beliefs, or the story you tell yourself? And it's huge. And how we hold on to those things, and they can even be like comfort blanket to a lot of people. But cool, right? So getting back, and I know how it can be unfulfilling after a while, like training people, because you're just like, you're like, okay, there's so much more that we could be doing, or like there's so much more I can value I can give you, rather than just like doing that. And then that's not to say like, obviously if people are really passionate about that, but you sort of like, you develop and your passion changes and you evolve, and so it's 100% part of it. So I want to get into, especially like with the self-sabotage, because I want to get into your self-sabotage. and what was going on, because I'm sure being around the coaching world, we probably come across the same, same sort of people, or at least been exposed to same people in terms of mentors, and certain people. I heard them, was just like, it just doesn't resonate with me at all, and I've made my bad choices. I've had bad choices, and you've learned from them. Couple of people, and spent thousands, and had bad experiences. But because this is the thing, like, because people sit here now and they see like, oh, Ryan, like you're doing well. This is all going for you, and I'm like, yeah, but first of all, there's a lot of work that goes into that. People don't see behind the scenes, and in terms of always going, and that's fantastic because I love it. But secondly, you didn't see all the years before that where come the tears and like things not working, understanding why. So what was your journey going through that? Like, I mean, you mentioned specifically a bad business decision about 4 years ago, but like, what was you going through that? Like, why isn't things working for me? Would you have that frustration too?
100%, and that was the catalyst for my change. Is I got to a point where I'm like, I've got to sort this now. I'm so frustrated with wanting the end result, but it just not happening. And I'm a fan of I know it's a bit woo woo and there's a big controversy around it, but like the law of attraction and stuff. I'm a big believer in like we're always attracting stuff to us. Mm-hmm. And I believe we're the cause of our experience. Whatever we're experiencing, I believe we are the cause of it because of what we're believing, what the stories we're telling ourselves, the energy that we're putting out into the world. I believe we attract everything to us. So I was like, right, I want to put this to bed now. This struggle, the hustle, the peaks and troughs, the getting something working and then sabotage. And then I was just like, right, I'm breaking point now. I'm done. I'm done with the struggle. I'm done with the stress. I'm done with the problems. Like, I want it to be good. Now I'm ready for it to just be good. And I don't know if the camera's picking up. I've got goosebumps coming when I'm saying this, because I remember it. I was like, done. That's it. I made the decision. No more struggle, no more pain, no more suffering for me or anybody else that's associated with me, because it has a knock-on effect. I've got 2 kids. Obviously, I've still got mum and dad around, a sister, and my pain was like rippling out to like them. It was impacting them and affecting them. I'm like, I'm done now, done. And I think because I put that energy out to the world, then other people came into my life that have really helped me, transform me, resources. And yeah, I've had bad experiences. Like I said, 4 or 5 years ago, I made the wrong decision. But while I could sit here and go, oh, it was his fault for selling me his program and taking my money off me because it was an easy sell because I was in a bad place, that doesn't serve me. So I take it back to me and go, right, why would I have attracted that? At that point, what would I have had to have believed in order to attract that mentor and that experience? And then I tracked it back to the belief I had around not being worthy, not being deserving, not good enough. So even though if I'd have followed his process, I probably would have had the external result that I wanted, because I didn't believe I was worthy and deserving of the external result. That's when I self-sabotaged, that's when I messed up, and I could have played victim, but that didn't serve me. So I was like, right, I take full responsibility for it. I forgive the guy for taking me on. I forgive myself for going into that, release the situation, and now I'm the cause of my experience. What do I actually want? Do my beliefs and stories align with what I want? If they don't, then I get to work with them and throw out the old and put in the new. And then I come from that place of, yeah, I'm worthy, deserving of it. And that's how then I attract the people into my life that are taking me on that journey now. And that's how things are just getting better and better and better.
So, like, for a lot of people listening, they can be like, this is a little bit esoteric, and it's a little bit like, okay, so you just believe it and it happens. So, like, what if people, because I understand where you're coming from, it's like that energy you put out into the world, and once you start to do, it's funny, because I always say to people, when it comes to health, I say, you don't do healthy things to become a healthy person. Mentally and emotionally become a healthy person, and the healthy things just come naturally. And it's a similar sort of thing to that. But so if people were listening, like, what was it that you said, I'm done with that. What were the things that changed? If you could say, like, to people, yeah, well, this was, people are listening, they think, okay, I really want that. What were the things that you changed?
I think the word that's coming through is surrender. And what I mean by that was I surrendered to trying to do it all myself, and the story. I surrendered the story that I'm right. I know the way. I need to be the one that does it. I need to prove that I'm right. I surrendered that and just went, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And I'm trying to keep this as less esoteric as possible, but that was one of the biggest things for me is like, I've tried, I've done the work, I've tried, and it hasn't worked. So I'm going to just go, right, I need help. That was one of the first things, is like accepting that I wasn't able to do it. And that crushed my ego. I can hear my ego trying to tell me to stop talking right now because other people are going, oh my God, he's weak. He doesn't know how to do it and all this stuff. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people thinking that he's weak and he can't do it himself. And I'm okay with that. That was a hard thing for me to do, is to go, I don't know. I can't do it. And being open to receiving the help and being open to being shown like another way, or what I didn't know, or what I wasn't seeing. And so that was one of the biggest things for me. I forgot the question. What was the question?
I was saying, like, what if people can like pinpoint some things or what changed in your life? You said you got that surrender, which I understand. It's amazing. Like, people say to me, "Oh, I haven't got the resource, I haven't got the money, or I haven't got this, I haven't got that." And it's like, it's amazing that when you take that jump, how much the universe catches you a lot of the time. Is in
100%.
Like, when you actually go into something, you go, I haven't got that. It's amazing. Like, oh, you invest in something, and then another client comes along for yourself, or you put yourself out there. I mean, I said to someone before, like, I started doing videos about 4 or 5 years ago, and they were terrible. But the more you do them, the better you get. And then you put yourself out, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you attract people into your life because you're putting yourself out there, and you're asking for help. And I say, as coaches, we're always. It's do you know who Peter Crone is?
No.
You'd love Peter Crone. He's the mind architect, and he talks about us how we're a masterpiece but a work in progress all at the same time, and that's just like a part of it. And one of the things he says is like, I have a just like a relationship with reality that most people don't have. Is in terms of, yes, I care, but I don't worry, because I know that, as you said, the 3 words that changed his life were, I don't know. And when people are always like, oh my God, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? When you can be very like in peace with, I don't know, but you go for it, it's like, it's amazing. And I say to people all the time, like, when if you can make that leap, it's amazing how many times the universe catches you. You just got to like, but you've got to, it's like having that belief. If you don't feel like it's going to work, I think that's a huge thing. It's a weird thing to say to people because they're like, oh, this is all airy fairy stuff, but it's very true in my experience.
Yeah, and that's all I can say is I can just share, like you've just shared, is it's true from my experience. It's, even though I think one thing, I can't remember who said it originally, it might have been Kyle Cease, but he's like, if you have to justify why you're doing a thing, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. But if it feels right, then you should be doing it, if that makes sense. So I use the example, or I think Carl uses the example of like relationships. Like, if you don't feel like you should be in that relationship, but you're justifying it, so you're saying, oh yeah, but they've got a good health insurance, or like, do you know what I mean? It's like, if you find yourself justifying it, then it shouldn't be what you should be doing. But if it feels right, if you feel that pull, if you feel that, oh yeah, that feels right, then it's doing everything you can to do that. And usually, if it doesn't feel right, then like, if you're looking for a practical step, if something just feels off, then it's probably not that for you. It's not the right thing for you. But then also investigate why it feels off.
Yeah,
could it be that it's you leap and you jump and your next level, and you, like you said, you're self-sabotaging, which we might speak about in a minute. But practical thing for me was, I don't know. I haven't got the answer. Yeah, like you said, I don't know. Powerful words. Getting out of the way, and then being guided, like allowing intuition to guide you, like taking the omens from the universe. Like, if something's shown to you, or someone comes into your life, or if a book is recommended, or a video is recommended, or even if you're just being guided to drive somewhere or pick up the phone to somebody, it's following that. That's what's massively helped me.
So literally, like, just like given into the universe and just see if anything's come up following those paths, right? And not being resistant.
But what I missed with that, by the way, the precept to that is desires and intentions.
Yeah.
So follow the universe, but what are your desires and intentions?
Yeah.
Like if your desire and intention is to be like a pinnacle of health and be really, really healthy, and then all of a sudden you're scrolling Facebook and Ryan pops up and says, "Hey, here's some information." Then have for me, that's a guide. That's the universe going, right, I need to reach out to this guy because my intention was this, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Ryan's popped up. You know. So it's intentions, desires first, and then following the steps.
100%. And so having that, I get what you're saying. It's like, but when you've got like a passion or something, it's like those things tend to pop up because you're constantly just in that realm of looking for things or trying to search, and then you see his interview, and all of a sudden someone interviews someone else, and you listen to their work, and you're like, oh my god. So for you, who was it? Like you said that you were open to being helped and saying, look, I don't know. Who was it, or what was it that you gave into, or you let guide you? What was it? A person? Did you have a mentor come into your life?
There's been a few things, but it's been a process. It's been following the steps as well. So it was never really just one thing. It's been a process. So I was on a call with I can't even remember his name. It was that long ago. Bradley. I can't remember his name. No. I did a coaching call anyway with a guy called Bradley something, and he sent me a link to a video. He's like, "Oh, I want you to watch this video," and the video was of a guy called Steve Hardison. If you haven't got Steve in your life, or if anybody watching this hasn't got Steve Hardison in their life, and you're open to change and seeing something differently and having an incredible experience, follow Steve Hardison. He's called the Ultimate Coach, and just an incredible guy. He then started posting about a book called A Course in Miracles. Now, this kept coming up for me, A Course in Miracles kept coming up. I'm like, okay, universe, I give in. I'm going to get this book, A Course in Miracles. That's one of them. And then he recommends another book called The Way of Mastery. It's a 3-book series. So I followed that as well. And then other coaches started popping up, and so it was never really one thing. It was just following the steps. That next thing that was shown to me, I'm like, okay, I'll follow that. And that's what guides me now. Is like, right, what my intention is. Here's my intention. Here's my goal. Here's my desire. I'll follow the next thing. And if it's scary, I just look at why it's scary. But then it's usually the next thing, and then I'll remove any belief or blocks that are in the way, and I'll just then do the next thing.
Right.
Like, for example, like this podcast was a scary thing. My ego's going, shit, Ryan knows. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear in case you're not allowed to. I'm like, Ryan knows all this stuff. Like, he's a genius when it comes to health. I'm going to be like shown up to, because I don't know anywhere near what he knows when it comes to health and stuff. My ego tried to like do everything it could to not get me on this podcast. I mean, we've had the experience of last week we couldn't get on because of something, and
that was my thing. Yeah, that was my yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure we had a couple. In fact, I apologise for that. It never happens, but yeah.
But here's what's really cool, right? Listeners, watchers, like Ryan said, that never happens. But I would say I attracted that because I wasn't at a point mentally, emotionally to be able to get on this podcast because my ego was throwing all this stuff going, you're not good enough, you're going to get humiliated, all that stuff. And then as soon as I do the work on it and I remove that out, boom, now we're on a thing.
Yeah.
And it's just following that next step. So I don't know why I'm on a podcast with you, right? I don't know what the universe is going, get on the podcast. Right? I don't know why. Like, my intention is to build this thing and do this thing, but I'm doing it. Like, I don't know what's coming off the back of it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, with me, like, because of my guests, well, I've had quite a range of guests, and I always talk about, like, a lot of people talking about different healths, and sometimes there's specific areas we go into. Other times I like to get interesting guests on, and especially people in the world of like helping people, personal development, because health, in my opinion, it covers every single aspect of it, whether it comes from romantic, financial, it could be nutritional, whatever it is. And I always like to get good people on, people that are helping people, because I might have a listener who resonates with you. They might like come across me and then they might like me, but they might go, oh, actually, but I resonate a bit more with Matt. And so one of my things is I'm trying to help over 1 million people, at least over 1 million people, to get where they want to go, get better or whatever. And so if that means like there's someone else comes on they resonate with, or you give them a little, maybe they go and read that book and they go, oh my God, that changed my life. And so like it's always good to tap into other people because I've got my stuff and I'm very much like you. I read like. But I only come across Peter not long ago, within the last year, and he's someone who's changed my perspective on stuff. Because I know, I don't know, did you do Dax Moyes?
I've never done his stuff. I followed him a few years ago, but I've never done his actual stuff. Right, but yeah,
he had a course in neuroscience, which was good. But Peter talks about it's very different. He's talking about, as you say, removing the blocks. And when people feel like I'm not enough, he said, well, if I cut you open, would it have a tag in there saying, Ryan Martin, I'm not good looking enough? Or whatever? No, it's just the things that we've put in our head. And so that's one of the things. We'll go on to it then because I think it is important. And that like self-sabotage behaviour you were mentioning, like what was it that, or what was the teachings that you've got into, or you help your clients get through, or even yourself? Like, what was it about self-sabotage you learned in terms of how to get people out of it, or what was the main reasons people are self-sabotaging?
So I think
loaded question.
I want to say I know, but I'm not arrogant enough to say I know. But I've got massive, I believe this to be true, that we are conditioned as human beings to believe the answer is out there, and we'll be happy when we get the job, we get the partner, we get the family, we get the blah 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 blah. We get the stuff we get. And that's where I was operating from. Oh, I'll be happy when I get that. I'll be happy when I get that. If I can just get that much money in my account and that body and that girlfriend and that life, then I will be happy. And that's where I came from. And then I got all the stuff. I got the girlfriend, I got the family, I got the car, I got the nice big fancy house, I got the business looking perfect. And I've never felt so depressed and empty in my entire life. And I'm like, oh, great. Now what? Now I've got all the stuff and I still feel not enough. Now what? So I told my story, I'm not enough. That's when so my story, I'm not enough. Then I hire the business guy, then I sabotage everything, then I lose everything. And then I go, see, I'm not enough. There's my proof, I'm not enough. And my external matches my internal. So even though I could strive and hustle and grind and get the external from a place of I'm not good enough and I'll be enough then, and I'll be happy then, even though I got it, because my program was I'm not enough, I eventually have to do the action that pushes it all away to prove and back up that program, that story, that belief about myself. And I've done a blog about this, but basically one night coming home from work, I'm like, right, everyone will be better without me. I'll go and end it all. It's like 5 years ago. So I went to go and end it all. Text the missus at the time, who's the mother of my kids. She was pregnant with my little girl at the time, and I've got a little boy as well. And text her saying, you guys will be better off without me. I'm not coming back. Done. Driving down the road one night towards a lorry, seatbelt off, because I was like, that's the way to end it all. And my phone wouldn't stop flashing by the side of me. I'm like, I'm not going to answer it. I'm just going to end it. Anyway, I ended up picking up the phone. It was the ex, she's now ex partner at the time. Answered the phone to her. She's like, come home, let's chat. That was like my rock bottom point. And she was like, you are enough. You just got to be yourself. You are enough. So I was like, right. Even though she said it, I still didn't believe it. So that's kind of my journey with that thing. And what came out of all of that and where I operate from now is I am enough now, because I've done so much inner work, so much journey, so much crying, so much letting go, so much shedding of all this stuff, the deep inner work, removing all these stories, all these beliefs, all the extrapolating, all the taking it all out, coming back to the truth, which is true for everybody, whether they believe it or not, that you are enough as you are. We're all as we are. We're just enough. We are enough now. We might have desires and goals and dreams and aspirations to do more, be more, have more, get more, give more. But as we are right now, in this moment right now, we are enough. That's how I operate now. I am enough. I need nothing else. Nothing. I have dreams, desires, goals, aspirations, yes, for more, but right now I'm enough, and I operate from that place. And that's what I was finding with clients now, or I know that now, is they come to me with this, I'm not happy, so I need the better body, I need the better business, I need the better relationship. But we take it back to, is it true? Like, that's a powerful, powerful question. I love it. And Byron Katie, you talk about names and who helped you. Byron Katie, I don't know if you've heard of her or not. Yeah. She does the work. Life-changing stuff. I recommend that to everybody. It's just, is that true? Is that story true? Is it true? And it's not. Like, if it's a limiting belief, self-sabotaging belief, or whatever, it's just not true, right? Because the truth is, you are enough. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. You are enough. So I get my clients back to that place, operating from you are enough, you need nothing more. Then you go, once you're enough, you go, well, if I'm enough and I don't need anything, because words are powerful, if I don't need anything, what do I want? Now, you might want the same stuff as you thought that you needed. So you might want the better body, the better relationships, the money, the business, the great life and stuff. You might want all that stuff, but you're coming from a different place. You're coming from, I am enough, I'm good enough now, I'm worthy and deserving of all that stuff, rather than I'm not good enough and I'll be happy then. Because if the program is I'm not enough, even if you get it, your program is still I'm not enough. And you'll do what I did and many people do, and you'll self-sabotage, which is actually a form of self-protection, but different story. You'll push it all away. You're like, well, why did I mess up? I said I want it in the body. Why the hell am I eating cake? I want the body. Why am I doing it? I want the relationship. Why am I arguing with the person that I'm living with? And I said I want the relationship, and that's why, because you don't believe you're worthy and deserving and all good enough. Move all that stuff out of the way. Come back home to the truth of who you are. And no, I'm putting in here and not here, because this will tell you that you're not enough, and society will tell you you're not enough, and your parents will tell you that you're not enough, and some partners might tell you you're not enough. But none of that's true. It's not true. You are enough. Everybody's enough. And I think if we can get that message out to the masses that you are enough and you don't need all this other stuff, then you come at the world from that place of I'm enough. I don't need love from you. I don't need likes from you. I don't need acceptance from you. I don't need approval and praise and respect from you. Because I don't need that stuff. So now I can come from the place of enoughness. And what do I really want? Well, I want to give more. Yeah, I want to receive more and get all the nice, shiny stuff, but I don't need it. It will come as a byproduct of the work that I'm doing. I don't need it, so I'm not striving, I'm not chasing. I'm coming from the place of I'm enough, and then I'm a magnet for it. Because if you go down the street and run after someone, what are they going to do? They're going to run away. That's what we're doing with our goals, our dreams and desires. We're chasing. It's just running away. And even if we get it, because we're holding the belief 9 times out of 10 that we're not good enough, we don't deserve it, we're not worthy, we'll push it away.
It's very, very powerful. I want people to go back and listen to that again, because it's so true. And I love that analogy. If you run after someone down the street, they're going to run away. But when you just it's that, it actually reminded me of a little, I think it's like it's a parable, I suppose. Well, it's like the two lions on the hill. Have you heard that one? And it says there's 2 lions on the hill, and there's this a lot of antelope or deer down below. And the young lion says to his dad, why don't we run down there and fuck one of those deer? And the old man, the dad says, son, how about we walk down there and fuck them all? And it's and it's just sort of it's not just it's like having that belief or just being who you are, rather than it's hard because those programs, because I'm interested, thank you very much for sharing that story, Matt. It's very powerful. I mean, in where you were and those times, I've had clients and people, I've never been there. I have been there in terms of how ill I was, and I didn't want to be here because how bad it was, but I was never at that point where I was literally about to do it. So I know that's powerful for you to share that, and then it's going to touch a lot of people. And just that programming, to break out of that programming, was it quite a challenge? Has it been quite a challenge? I mean, you said a lot of tears, a lot of work done. How long did it take you to get out of that programming? Because I mean, because I want to put a backstory to that, is because it's easy to say things like you are enough, and when you're in it and as a coach you go through these things, you do a lot of self-development. People, we do a lot of self-development. There's my morning, for example, I don't know that many people not in the coaching world, unless they're a professional athlete, that would probably, for example, my routine, I get up, I brush my teeth with my left hand to keep my brain stimulated. I then go and do my morning tonic that I have. Then I come and I do some stretching, some breathing, I do some rotation. I then do some journaling. I do some left-handed writing once again to keep my brain stimulated. A lot of these things that we do, and a lot of people will be like, okay, that's interesting, because you're trying to become the best version of yourself, so you can be more for more people, and you can. And it's once again, it's not as you said. I very much believe what you said there in terms of not even belief. It's just true, needing something or just being that person, right? Saying you be that person, but breaking those programs down, for you, like how long did that take? And also, I want to go back to it because I think it's interesting. You said, did it stem from golf, or did it stem from something that was even deeper when you're younger, like not being enough? Did it come from family?
Oh yeah, it's childhood. It's always rooted in childhood. Yeah. I mean, there are some people that say it's like past lives and past generation and things like that. And yeah, that's like in a way that's true. But without getting too woo and out there, definitely 100% from childhood, 100%. And so there's, again, we talk about what was it? It wasn't a specific thing.
It was that accumulation.
It's just like I did like inner child work and then past life regret and like all that stuff and whatever and forgiveness, and there's like so many different things you can do.
What was the most powerful one for yourself? Was there a moment when you were like, you know what, I am enough? Like, do you remember that moment?
You know what? Here's the analogy that I would use is that if you had a client come to you and said, right, I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they've never done any training ever in their life, and I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you said, okay, you took them on as a client, and let's just say then they became Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? And then you said to them, well, they look like Arnold in their prime, right? Let's just say like in his like 20s or whatever when he was Mr. Universe. And then you eventually took that client to that. And then you asked that client, right, what was the one thing that made you look like Arnold? It's kind of like that. I don't mean to insult you with that, with the question you've asked. Is a great question. But it was never one workout that did it for me. It was workouts over time that have got me to the I am enough. It wasn't that one coach said, oh, you are enough. And I go, oh, cool, great, let's go. It was never that. It's the doing meditations. It's the finding out all the times when I picked up the I'm not enough beliefs. Like one of them, I was doing a swimming competition when I was about 8, right? I was doing a swimming competition, breaststroke, dived in, swim to the end, get out. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not, right? This is what I remember from the time. I come out of the pool, I pop my head up, and my dad came down by the side of the pool to me, and he said, you know what? If you'd have got quicker off the blocks, you'd have won that race. Right? I get goosebumps again. I don't know if you can see them on the camera. Goosebumps again. Yeah. Now, that's what he said, okay? My interpretation straight away was, I'm not good enough. That's just one example. Now, my dad didn't bend down and go, you're not good enough, right? He might have bent down from a place of total love, knowing that I'm good enough and I'm worthy of winning, and he just gave me like a little tip to help me win, right? But my story was, I'm not good enough. My dad just come down and like criticize what I've done, so I'm not good enough, right? So it doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. It says it served me. That didn't serve me. So I get to change it. I go, I am good enough to win. And that's why my dad bent down and went, you know what? If you're quicker off the blocks, then you're going to win. I'm worthy and deserving of winning. My dad wants me to win. And it'd be fine if I won. So it wasn't that one moment. It wasn't that one meditation I did or that one journaling session. It's workouts. It's repetition. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't ever one thing. It was like if I could say to anybody, like, what could you do? I would actually say go and hire a coach who's been there and done it, whether that's me, whether that's you, whether that's somebody else online, whether it's Steve or anybody else that's out there. Find someone who resonates with you, someone who has what you want, whether it's energy, whether it's health, whether it's money, relationships, outlook on life. Find someone who has what you want, who's done that work, and go and get them to do it with you. Yeah. Like, even if you tell the story, I can't afford it. Most of us will, if you just message us and say, honestly, I can't afford it, what can I do? We'll give you something to do and we'll help you. And that'll be the next step and the next step and the next step. Keep taking those next steps. So no, it wasn't one thing. Mm-hmm. It's constant. And I have to do it like every day still. I still have to do those meditations every day. Like you talk about morning routine. Mine is close my eyes, hand on my heart, connect to my higher self. Myself, I use the word God. Not religious whatsoever, okay? Some people use the universe, some people say source, some people say angels, some people higher self. For me, the word that works for me is God, not God, not religion whatsoever, okay? I've got to clear that up straight away. I'm not religious at all. But that works for me. So I'm like hand in here, I just connect to the God, the higher self, source, universe that knows that I am enough, and I breathe into that every single morning to remind me every single day. And then I come from that place. So if there's one thing people can do, it's reconnecting with you and coming back home to you and just going, right, tell me the truth of who I am. That's one thing that they can do.
100%. And sometimes I just ask those questions because I think it's important because people love a list or one thing, and generally I ask them because I know that it won't be one thing, and so I want people to understand it. It's not like it's not going to be like people want the top 10 or the top 3 things, and you can, and sometimes you can give them, like I did a video yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, like the top 3 supplements you can give, but generally these things, it's becoming that person, and it happens over time, and you know, as you said, it would take you that amount of time to get to Schwarzenegger. It wouldn't happen overnight, you know. It'd take you, and then you have to become that person who wants to get there, and that's the huge part of it. So when people, when you say not enough, and those things are, I think we've all had them in childhood, and it's so true about the story you tell yourself or the way you come at it. Someone could say something to you, and your thoughts about that or who you are can make that sentence a completely different, or having a completely different intention to what they actually meant for you. As you said about that, if you got off the blocks a bit quicker, and you're like, oh shit, I'm not good enough, rather than, oh cheers, Dad, yeah, perfect. Next time I'll do that, and then like, yeah, and that it can be a game changer. I think Peter Cronin, he talks about. He said, "Who would you be if you let all those thoughts, and who would you be, and what could you achieve if you let all those thoughts about you that aren't serving you go?" And it's like, yeah. And that's like, who was, so was it Byron Katie's The Work that really got you into this? Because it's quite a similar, I think they got quite a similar take on things, because I love Byron Katie, I think it's wicked. I mean, is that quite a lot of that stuff have you done?
Yeah, and I've found that a few coaches, I've got a couple of coaches now, and it's all similar stuff. It's all similar stuff, but kind of in a different way. And the only reason I've got a coach that I've got is because I totally resonate with who they are, and I want the life that they have.
Who's that?
Like, that's it. Like, they've done the journey. They've got what I want, and like that's who I'm working with at the moment. There's 2. Amanda Francis is one of them, and Nick Tillier is another one.
Amanda
Francis and Nick Tillier.
I've heard of Nick Tillier. I've heard of Nick Tillier. Cool. I'll have a look into them and see what they're doing. It's always good to maybe even get them on the podcast, have a little chat to them. But Amanda Francis and Nick Tillier. Cool. And so when you're dealing with your clients, is it mainly men that you work with, Matt?
50-50 at the moment.
Is it? Okay, because I know just
50-50.
Yeah. I only asked that because you have like your Man on Fire program. I didn't know because So I just wondered if it was.
No, it's 50-50. I mean, like, most of my clients are long term. Like, most of my clients are over the 5-year like thing that I've worked with for. Some of them were PT and transition now into more like the life coaching thing. Just because they see the value of it, and things just get better and better for them. And it's like we're hardly doing any like work on them now because we've removed all the stuff that isn't serving them. It's almost like, what are they like, the sessions? I think everybody there's a book called what's it called? To do with upper limits, The Big Leap, Gay Hendricks. I don't know if you've heard of that book, but he talks about we all have upper limit problems. Or upper limits, and we reach a limit and then we just can't seem to break through it, and even if we do, we'll come back to that. It's like the thermostat kind of thing. And so now all I do with my clients pretty much is, now we've done all the work and the extrapolate and removing all the stuff that isn't serving them, we're installing all the new hardware, software and programs, and they're running with that. And if they ever come up against any kind of block, we go, cool, here's why the block's there, let's remove it, let's go to the next level. And that's what I'm like here for. I went out for lunch with my mom yesterday, and I was like, I'm struggling to articulate like what I really do, because it's very hard, I think, to articulate like what I do. Like, I change people, transform people, and it's like, how do you put that? She's like, you used to play golf. Use a golf analogy. She's like, you're like a caddy. And I was like, oh, I like that.
You're right.
I'm a caddy. Like, I take the people that like they want to win the championship, the tournament, or they want to have a better round, or they want to play better and have a better experience. And yeah, well, I'm quite a good golfer and I'm doing it for myself as well. I love helping other people have that better experience and supporting them along the way.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's like a mix at the moment with clients.
That's also, I think that's a great analogy. Honestly, mate, you'll love Peter Crone. You need to CRONE. You need to like Peter Crone. Go on him. He's like he does a lot of work with golfers as well. And he talks about like he had one golfer who he was like Australia. I can't remember who it was. Australian, just top Australian golfer. And he just couldn't seem to win the Open. He really wanted to win an Open, and he said, well, the thing is, you said you're really worrying about like winning just one. He said, what if we made the goal, I want to be like the most successful Australian golfer of all time? He said, okay, who's got the most? And he said, this guy at 13. He said, okay, well, how about we get to 10? All of a sudden, winning one isn't a big deal because you're trying to get to 10.
Yeah.
And like you're a different person, and it's just like changing the frame around that. And it's like there's another good guy, you know, Dave Aldred. You probably know Dave Aldred. Johnny Wilkinson's kicking coach. He works with a lot of golfers and stuff. Got a great book out there called The Pressure Point. Like, he's very, very good, and he talks about that. So I get it. So you go through the self sabotage stuff, and so when you're trying to talk to these people about, you said before, like attracting more money or attracting like relationships into their life, like. Is once again, that's just like what I believe, for example, that I should have a beautiful person in my life, whoever, rather than thinking I'm not actually good enough. So every time I'm getting these things coming into my life, it's because I don't actually feel like I'm enough. So that's what I'm attracting, rather than being, oh no, of course I deserve a beautiful lady or man in my life who is this, this and that. And once you open yourself up to that, the universe, the path's open. Is that, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So so with people like, what were, because there's specific things, because people like to talk about this. Like if we looked at, for example, just that for relationships, what are some of the biggest aha moments or blocks that have been removed? Is it like once again, is it just like a build up of stuff?
Yeah, I'm smiling because it's like it's a few things for people. Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone's got their own experiences. Now this can go very, very deep, like very deep, with patterns and programs, and whether you're still running like childhood patterns, because if you haven't evolved into man woman and you're still running boy girl patterns, you're just going to attract like a lot of people. Here's what's funny is a lot of people are in a relationship with their mom or their dad. So you're not actually in it. That's just weird if you're in a relationship with your mom or your dad, but the person you're in a relationship with will have very similar character traits with mom or dad. Right? Because that's what you know, and that's what feels safe, and that's where you feel nice and warm and cared for. It might not be what you actually desire, but it's what is known to you. So if you're a female and all you just keep attracting is men who are, let's just never there for you. They always seem to be doing something, whether it's work, whether it's playing on their Xbox, whether it's out with friends, away with business, at the gym. And you're like, no matter what I do, I just keep attracting these guys that are just never there for me. Then I would go, right, let's look at your childhood. And was daddy around much? And they were like, no, he's always at work, because that's what kind of like stereotypical, that's what they did. Dad was always out at work, mom was at home and stuff. And it's like, well, that's what you know. Or that's the story you're telling. Guys aren't there for me. So that was the biggest thing for me. Is like, holy shit, now the girls I've been in a relationship have been absolutely amazing. They've been responsible for a lot of my healing. And the girl I'm dating now is, this might sound really, really bad, but people can take it however they want to take it. The girl I'm dating now is like who I desire as a whole, complete enough being, is who I desire to be with, not who part of me needs, because I feel like my completion is out there and I'm half and I need my other half, right? So whereas before I was running all different sorts of programs, I was just attracting those partners into my life that were in alignment with that. Does that make sense? Without going into too much detail and stuff. But when I came home to me and go, all right, I am enough. I don't need now mom isn't in my life. I don't need a mother in my life. I don't need someone to mother me. But because I was still running a child program, I was like, right, I need someone to mother me. And that's kind of what I attracted, is women that would like mother me. No, this isn't I'm not putting them down or anything like that, but that's just what I attracted because that's where I was coming from. But then when I go, I don't need a woman to mother me anymore. I'm enough. I can support and take it. I want a partner to grow with me and go with me, not to like mother me. Then all of a sudden, the last relationship, you go, we're no longer a match for each other. Now this new one is. She doesn't want to mother me at all. She wants to be led by a man, right? And it just so happens that my journey's gone from a boy that wants to be mothered into a man who can lead now. And that's the experience I'm getting. Mm-hmm. And so in terms of relationships, that's I believe how it works is you're only ever attracting, the world is your mirror, right? You're only ever attracting what's really going on in here, what you believe you need, the stories you're telling yourself. Because even though logically it doesn't make sense to be in an abusive relationship, if that's what feels safe to you, if that's what you know, that's what you're going to attract. So people are then saying, well, how do I get out of it? How do I get what I desire? Matt, you're in a relationship with someone you desire. How do I get that? You make it as safe as possible. This is what I learned from Nick, by the way. So I'm not trying to steal anything from him and make it my own. This is all Nick stuff. You make it as safe as possible to have what you desire. So I also had a pattern of, or a story or a belief that getting what I want will result in pain. If I have what I want, it won't last. So because I don't want to experience pain, who does, right? I wouldn't allow myself to have what I really, really wanted. So I couldn't get the girl I really desired, because why would I if it was going to end in pain? But now my belief, my story, my programming is stuff just gets to get better and better and better and better. It just gets to keep getting better and better and better and better and better. So now I'm allowing myself to have what I really, really desire. Caveat, I'm not saying this girl I'm dating is better than the girls that I dated before, okay? There's no comparison.
I hate the fact we're in 2020 and you have to keep on saying these things, because it's like someone might get offended. I get where you're coming from. I know. I get where you're coming from, mate. I get where you're coming from. You're not saying better. You're just saying it's your journey. And it's a different people. Because the girls you've dated before, they're probably on their own journey and they'll grow as well and they'll attract different people as well. So
100%.
Exactly.
100%. Well, I've had great times with those girls and they're amazing. They're like absolutely they're what I needed and wanted and resonated with at that time. Fantastic girls, great. But then I shift and change, go, well, actually different stories. No, that's what I want now.
So when you went through that change and when you went out, so for people out there, like, it changed and obviously you were putting different energy out and attracting a girl, for example. Did you change the way you'd approach a girl like that? Or for example, when you have deal with your clients, like, did you carry yourself different? Did you approach them different? Like, how did she come into your life? Like, what was that like? Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you're running, did you get my question?
Yeah, I remember it 100%. And the answer is always. You just get what you put out. She didn't come into my life because I was putting out the energy of I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it, I can't have it, it's not safe, blah blah. So I was pushing it away. But then I do the work. I go, no, I get to have what I desire. I'm worthy and deserving of whatever I desire. I'm good enough, and it is safe. Then all of a sudden, my last relationship, we decide it's not working, so we go our own separate ways. Out of nowhere, right? Story is out of nowhere, this girl starts following me on one of the social media platforms. Out of nowhere, right? Now, usually, I'm not saying every time, but most times, if people like add me as a friend or follow me or whatever, I'll send them a message and go, hey, thanks for the follow, I really appreciate it. Did anything prompt it? Right, I just want to try and connect and make conversation with people. But intuition, because here's the thing. Again, stepping back a little bit, looking at what my desires really were, is that I didn't really desire the person I was in a relationship with. So I was like, right, let's look at what I really, really desire, get absolutely clear on that, what I really desire in a girl. So that was the precept of this. And then all of a sudden this girl starts following me. Just so happens she's everything that I desire. Just so happens. And then my intuition says, don't just message her and say, hey, thanks for the follow, thanks for reaching out, like, is there anything that prompted it? Don't just say that. Say something different. And I was like, no, I don't usually say that. And I'm going, no, ego's going, no, don't, just say the normal thing. But intuition's going, no, just say something different. So I like message something different back. And we got chatting. And I was like, oh, cool, let's go for a date. So I didn't possibly approach her differently, possibly said different things. I don't know. I don't change who I was and what I did. I changed who I was being.
Yeah.
Because before I didn't think I was worthy and deserving of a girl like this.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was worthy, didn't think I was deserving, didn't think it was safe for me to have a girl like this. So I would do everything to deflect it and push it away.
I think it's quite a powerful thing. I was going to say it's a very, very powerful thing. It's about being safe and how, like, you feel like even if you get it, the pain might come in. That's quite a big thing, I think, for a lot of people. Like, because if they get it, they've got to change their. Well, first of all, things might leave, so it's a pain of like loss. But also, they might have to change their life, which at the moment is quite comfortable.
Of course.
So,
but so on that, I know what my desires, intentions, and goals are. I'm absolutely clear on those. I'm clear on my vision for my life. Absolutely crystal clear, right? I've got that crystal clear end vision, and beyond that as well. That's crystal clear. It's also safe for me to have that. I'm worthy of having that. I'm deserving of having that. And there is no pain associated with me having that whatsoever, right? And then all I do is just keep taking those next steps that are shown to me. It's just keep taking, okay, so this girl fits into like the bigger picture right now. Now I might do some work and it might change.
Yeah.
It might not. I don't know. I'm continually doing the work on me.
Yeah.
But like right now, that fits into dreams, desires, goals, aspirations, my life, my vision for my life. People might say, that's really selfish, but if that triggers you, then you need to go and do the work on like having your dreams, desires and owning them and what you really, really want. But then, that fits into it. And everything it's almost like reverse engineering. But I don't even have to engineer it because the universe or whatever shows me the next steps. It doesn't show me after the next steps. It doesn't show me what it's like going to be in a relationship with this girl. It doesn't show me that. What did Steve Jobs say? You can't connect the dots before you do the thing. You get to the end thing and then you can see how you got there.
Yeah, of course.
I just keep taking that next step. And it's scary. And we're talking about different things and changing all these types of things. And it's scary, but it still fits. And it's all change and it's all new, but it all fits into that big idea, that big vision for my life. And I just keep taking the next steps.
It's like having unwavering faith, basically, that you just go with it. It's just one of those things that's just showing up. And at the end of the day, you'll never know unless you try, right? So it's one of those things. You'll never know. And
yeah.
I mean, and to get.
And what's the alternative? I don't do it. That's the alternative.
Exactly.
Is I don't message the girl back.
Yeah. Exactly.
And do you know what I mean? I don't get on a podcast, or I don't reach out to new clients, or I don't go to the gym. Do you know what I mean? That's like, what's the alternative? I don't get what I want. I'd rather have what I want than not. Or I'd rather at least go for what I want and go down that path rather than getting to the end of my life and go, no, I never really went for what I wanted. You know?
Yeah, that's exactly. And I'm guessing it's exactly the same with money, everything else that you talk about, right? It's like
everything, money, health, relationship, like everything. And because that's what I used to see in the gym, right? Like middle-aged Jane, right? She would come to me, oh, Matt, I really, really want to lose weight. That's what she really, really wants. I want to feel attractive in my clothes. I feel attractive in the bedroom. I want to lose weight. Okay, cool. But if 5 of her friends or her best friends have no intention of losing weight and getting in shape, she'll be like, I'm going to get kicked out of my tribe here. If I get in shape and get really, really healthy and get really fit and really sexy and really step into my femininity and stuff, I don't know what that's like. And then she starts doing it. She gets on this journey and her husband starts going, oh, you're going to the gym again? Because there are a lot of dick husbands out there that do that. And yeah, guys, I'll call you out for doing that as well. Because they're insecure, so they'll push that onto their wives, girlfriends, partners, whatever. That's another thing I'm really passionate about, because that's one of the things that I used to bump up against a lot when I was doing the PT stuff. Oh, Matt, I really want to do it, but my husband won't let me. Different story, another conversation, another day. But then she starts doing it, and her friends then say the same. Oh, you're coming out tonight, Jane? We're going to go out for a few drinks. And she's like, not tonight, I'm going to go gym or got a spin class or whatever. Oh, fun. So then that starts becoming painful for her. So then she's got 2 choices. She goes, right, they're good friends and I like them, but they don't fit into my dreams and desires. Husband's a dick. He's not going to support me. So he's not fitting into my dreams and desires. That can be a different conversation. You could say to your husband, I'd like you to support me. Then that's another conversation. But you've got a decision to make. You're like, do you sacrifice your dreams and desires just to stay with your tribe and what's comfortable? Or do you break free and go for it? And I use the caveman or cavewoman or cave, whatever you identify as, analogy. Like if you're in your cave, right, and you've got food and you've got fire, then you're cool, you're fine. But once that food runs out, you've got 2 choices. You can stay in the safety of the cave and eventually just die, or you can go out hunting for more food. A little bit dangerous, but you've got a chance of thriving. Same as if the fire goes out. You can freeze to death and go, I've had a good life, the fire's gone out, it's fine, I'm going to freeze to death and stay in here and die. Or you can go, no, it's unsafe out there, so I'm just going to take the next step, go and collect some firewood, come back and have the warmth and the heat and start thriving. It's the same. That's human behavior. You either stay in the cave and you suffer, or you take the next steps and you thrive. And yes, things will have to go. Yes, you'll have to leave things and people and maybe places behind. But what's the alternative? You stay and it's painful, or You step forwards and you take the next step, and you thrive and become an inspiration to your friends, maybe.
100%, and I think that's a massive one. Like being, as I said, as having done work on the brain, you probably know about the mammalian part, where you literally that hierarchical thing, right? And not losing your friends or being extradited from the tribe, because back in the day that would mean probably death.
Yeah.
And so it is hard, it is really hard. So for people, it's, and also when you feel like, when you go, oh my God, when you feel enough, or you feel like, oh, anything's possible, it's amazing how the negative thoughts are causing so much dis-ease in the body and even in the mind. And when you don't have them, some people want them just because they feel comfortable. It's like, I've always had those thoughts. So is that something you do with clients? Like trying to get, like, what do I do without these negative thoughts? Like, what do I replace them with? What would you say to people who say that? Like, because I know they can be like a comfort blanket. They've always been there. So, and sometimes those things drive people as well. Like, I'm not enough, I'll make it. But it's much, in my opinion, it's much better to get to your goals, chasing it, like having the carrot, rather than, you know, going against something that because you don't feel enough or trying to prove people wrong. It's better to do it from a place of like, I would like that, but I'm enough, as you said, rather than I'm not enough, and once I get there, I'll show everyone.
Yeah, and like you say, it's like a comfort blanket. That's a very like childish thing to have. A comfort blanket is like children want those comfort blankets. But when you realize and you come home to the truth that you're totally safe anyway, there's no saber-toothed tiger out there. You're not going to die if you get extradited from your tribe. It's again making your desires, dreams, goals, aspirations safe. And that's like visualizing. It's making it safe, but also it's about like visualizing the identity. If you say about, oh, I've got negative thoughts, that's the program, the pattern, that's me. It's like, no, that's not you at all. That's just your thoughts that you've had. So like first step, I would say, is like meditation or mindfulness 101. Observe your thoughts. Just get up first thing in the morning, just sit there. Again, this is a Kyle Cease thing. Sit there, close your eyes, and just go, right, I'm just going to watch my thoughts. Any thought that I have. Why are you doing this? This is pointless. You shouldn't be meditating. You've got to get up and you've got emails to do, and just watch your thoughts. Oh, you're not good enough. You need to go and do. Just watch your thoughts and realize you're not your thoughts. So any negative thought you've had, even if that's what you've had for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it's knowing, not believing, it's knowing that you are not your thoughts. It's knowing that you're not your thoughts. And then once you go, okay, let's remove those negative thoughts, what do we replace them with? We replace them with positive ones. You can replace them. It's all a choice. You replace them with whatever you want. Replace them with whatever serves your goals, dreams, and desires. And even if every now and again it comes up with, oh, I'm not good enough, or that will never happen, or can't come off, just go, no, delete that, cancel. That's just a thought. It's not serving me. I can have what I want. I do deserve it. I am good enough. And it's that identity, coming home to the truth that you are enough. I can't say that enough. Like you are, and it's just like you are, like everybody is. It's coming home to that, and the ego's going, no, you're not, because you haven't got a six pack. No, you're not, because you haven't got this much money. No, you're not, because you haven't got that job, that relationship, that house. You need that, and then you would no, scratch that, delete it. There's no contract that you sign that says I'm not enough. You didn't sign the contract to I'm not enough. You didn't sign it. It's not true. It's not even there. You are. That's your identity. Enough. No, coming from that. Oh, I am enough.
So when people, I completely agree, everything you said there, I absolutely love. For people though that start to get into this sort of like, and sort of you touched on it before, but for people in there that are trying to get into this pattern of thinking and this process and feeling enough, and then they walk into a restaurant with their mates, or they walk into a pub with their mates, and you know, they say something to them, or they try not to react to something they say because they're trying to like relax and remain calm and balance and do all the things to do, and their mates start taking the mick, or you know, they say or they act in a way that doesn't serve them, or it, you know, brings them back into their old patterns of feeling like they're not enough because they get called a nickname that they've had for ages, or whatever it is. What's some advice you could give to people there? Is it to, once again, is it to, if you want to be the person you want to be, you've got to leave this tribe behind?
Yeah, possibly. Like, it's all about doing the work. It depends on how committed someone is to it. I mean, the answer to that is, the boring answer is you go home, you get out your pen and paper, and you go, right, why have I attracted this situation? What do I believe about myself in order to attract that situation? It's usually the thing. Like, why am I putting myself in that situation? Why am I there? If I don't want it, why am I there? And doing that investigative work and go, right, why have I attracted that situation? Why am I hanging around these people? What is it about this that is causing me to do it? To say yes to things that I don't really want to do. To have my friends take the mick out of me and it triggers something inside of me. Because again, if you're a secure person, you know what your dreams, desires are. It doesn't matter if you're out of shape. If you know what your goals are, you're a secure person, and your day one is, okay, I'm going to start getting into shape, but they're still taking the mickey out of you. If you know you're on a mission to get into shape, you go, yeah, okay, take the mickey out of me. That's absolutely fine. And then you give them a little bit of a dig back.
Yeah.
You know, because you're a secure, because you don't need it. That's why they can take the mickey out of you, because they're secure. Right, it's all about banter for them. Like, they're fine with giving you banter because they don't care if you go home crying to mummy. Like, they're secure. They don't need you in their tribe. They're secure. Now, it doesn't mean that when you're secure and you're fine with it, you don't go around taking the piss out of everyone because you don't care if you push them away. It's not about that. It's not about being so secure that you're an arsehole and you push them. Oh, I don't need anybody. Push them. It's not that at all. Yeah, you don't need anybody, but now you can come from a place of not need. Like, what's the least attractive trait in a person? Neediness. No, it's the least attractive trait, is that neediness. So you could look at, well, why do I keep pushing people away? That's because I'm having this I need them energy. When you go, no, I'm whole and complete, I don't need anybody, then you go, right, who do I want in my life? Who do I want to hang around? Do I want to hang around with people that just go to the pub all the time, complain about their 9-to-5 job, complain about their husbands and wives and kids, and then go and get drunk all weekend? Do I want to hang around? And there's no judgment on those people, by the way. No judgment on those people whatsoever. If that's your life, then and you're happy, then that's totally cool.
I don't think many people.
I'm not happy being around those people. They're not happy. We know that.
No, I was going to say, I don't think many people like that listen to this podcast anyway. So don't worry about it.
But I've had to let go of some really close friends that are living that life, but it doesn't align with my life, my dreams, my desires, and my goals. So I've had to get out of that tribe. I've gone through the lonely, dark times of being totally alone and lonely. But when I can be in the darkest, deepest, loneliest place and be fine with it and be there for that loneliness and be the space to hold that loneliness and that inner child that's scared and whatever, and I can be the savior of that inner child. I don't need anybody else to then come and save me. I don't need a partner to come and make me feel enough or make me feel safe or make me feel loved. I don't need that. I don't need clients to do that. I don't need money in the bank to make me feel enough. You know, I can go, right, no, that doesn't align with my dreams, desires, and goals. I want to hang around with people like Ryan, right? I want to be on podcasts with people like Ryan and doing stuff like this, than down the pub moaning about the fact that, I don't know, like my boss gave me shit for turning up 2 minutes late to work or not sending the email or whatever. Nope, don't need that life. Don't need it.
So if we were to say, like, Matt, your message to people out there, like, what would be the one thing? Or not one thing. What would you like to say to people, though, if they wanted to get the life that they wanted? What would be your bit of advice? What would be the message you'd like to put people? Because in the day you said you don't know, you're a bit like a caddy. Yeah, you are. But you think it's like freedom as well. So what would you say is the message?
Get clear on what you want. Start there. Just play with it. Just get out a pen and paper, like go somewhere on your own, listen to some good music, maybe do a workout or something, or some yoga and some breathing, and go, right, what do I actually want? Just start there. What do I actually, just start writing. What do I really want? What do I want my body to look like? What do all my relationships look like? What do I want in terms of career or job or whatever? Start with, come home to you. Forget what your parents say you should have, or society says you should have, or friends say, or what Matt and Brian say you should have. Forget all of that and just go, what do I actually, if I can have anything, what do I want? Start there. Then the work starts. Because the only reason why you haven't got what you want is because a belief that you're not worthy, you're not deserving, you're not good enough, you can't have it, it's not available to you, it's not safe, blah, 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 blah. Then the work starts. But then what I would say is make a decision. Make a decision whether you're going to go after what you want and you're willing and ready and able to do the work to go after what you want, and you're going to be relentless and not stop until it becomes your reality and that's who you are. Or you go, nah, I'm going to go back to the TV, the scrolling, the job I hate, the relationship I'm unhappy with, the depression, the can't fit into my clothes, the looking terrible in the mirror, the wanting to turn the light off in the bedroom. But you just make a decision make a decision. So getting clear on what you want. Knowing that you can have absolutely anything. Even if you don't know, you do. You can have anything. regardless of that voice in your head that says, no, I can't, but, or because, ignore that. Like, you can, whatever you desire, you can have. I'm a massive believer in that. Whatever you really desire, you can have. You're worthy of it, you're deserving of it, and it's safe for you to have it. And then it's like another practical thing is breathing into who you are. And what I mean by that is just literally just close your eyes, hand on your heart, and just breathe down into your heart. And another thing that's just come through, by the way, of saying that is gratitude. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Gratitude. Be grateful for everything that you can possibly be grateful for, even if you're in the worst possible situation, circumstance, health, financial situation, relationship. If it's the worst ever, there's something you can be grateful for. The ability to listen to this podcast, for a start, right? Grateful for, I don't know, a roof over your head if you've got it, food in your belly, or grateful for opportunity, grateful for your legs if you've got that. If you haven't, then grateful for your arms or your hands or your eyes. Start with that gratitude. Come from a place of gratitude. Come from there. Show the universe that you can be grateful, and you're grateful for what you have right now, because the more things you're grateful for, the more things you'll be given to be grateful for. I could go on forever about stuff, but I think the first thing is getting clear on what you really, really want. Coming home to the truth that just you are enough. I can't say that enough. You are, regardless of what mommy and daddy said, regardless of what society and adverts on TV say that you need this dress or you need this car or you need this whatever. You are enough. Like, breathe into I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough. Another great exercise, by the way, is the mirror exercise, where you literally just stand in front of a mirror and say, I love you, until you feel it. Like, give yourself the love that you've been searching for out there. The best thing that happened to me is I've been searching for love off my dad, trying to get love and praise off my dad forever. And I won a golf competition. He's like, I love you, I'm so proud of you. And it didn't fill the hole. I thought it was going to fill the hole. When I got the message saying I love you, I'm proud of you, I thought it was going to fill the hole, because that's what I've been striving after all my life. And I got the thing that I thought was going to make me happy and fulfill me and finish me and fill me up and complete me. And I got it, and I was like, that's not it. I was like, you can fill yourself up. Like, I am enough, and like in the mirror, I love you, I love you, I love you. And your ego will do everything it can to stop you from doing that. I love you, until you absolutely feel it. I love you, you are enough, we're good enough, I've got you, it's safe, I've got you. Like, do that work. And then follow the next steps. Wherever the next step is, it will be shown to you. And keep following those next steps.
Awesome, my man. Awesome. I 100% agree with you. Where's the best place for people to find you, Matt?
I post a little bit on Facebook every now and again. You might have seen some of my stuff. Facebook.com/Matt Smith 2310. Or coachmattsmith.com. But yeah, Facebook is usually where I hang out and share a lot of my stuff.
Coachmattsmith.com.
Yeah, is my website. There's a little bit of stuff on there. Or if you want to email me directly, it's matt@coachmattsmith.com with 2 T's. If you want to email me directly, I'm open to receiving.
You're not on the giddy heights of Instagram?
Oh, I am, yeah. Coach Matt Smith on Instagram.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome, man. So it's really good for just people to, if they want to catch you, or maybe just follow you, just see what you're about and to see what you're up to. I think it's always good because people have a listen and they like, okay, yeah, this guy's cool. I have a little follow, and then you never know, follow down the rabbit hole and might be getting a call from some of them one day. So, Matt, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. I definitely think that we'll do this again and we can go a bit deeper into certain things, because I've touched on quite a lot of stuff there. And although some people will say, it's things that they can't put their finger on. It hasn't been top 10 tips, but it's been more about, opening your mind, changing that mindset, beliefs. At the end of the day, your beliefs and your thought pattern and your beliefs around them, it decides or it dictates what you're doing, because it dictates who you think you are. I did a really cool exercise with my guys the other day. It was like building a character, how they look, how they feel, what would they wear, and all that. And it's like, cool, and step into that and see how it would feel, and you go out and try and live like it, and there's no judgment if things don't go well for you, because you're just playing a part. But after a while, you play that part enough, and it's one thing. So, Matt, really good talking to you, my man. Thanks for coming on, and definitely be getting you back on.
Oh, cool, mate. I just want to say thank you very much for having me on. This stuff is inside me. I just need to get it out. So you've given me the ability to just get that out to more people. So thank you so much for the honor of being able to do that, mate.
No worries, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Cool.
So that was Matt Smith, people. Hope you enjoyed that. I know we touched on a lot of things there, and as I said before, it can be quite esoteric and people can think it's woo-woo, but your thoughts, feelings and your patterns that you run are going to greatly impact your life. I know how much my life changed when I actually went for stuff and took the leap of faith and showed the universe that I was ready for what's to come. When I went around the world, I didn't have the money to learn. I went around the world, I put it on credit cards, went and learned from the best, and the universe caught me because it knew I was going out there to try and help people, or at least help myself and then be able to help others. And similarly with other coaches I've had that I didn't have money for at the time, I got loans out, and it led to me meeting people, expanding my business, going around the world, and it's one of those things that can be daunting at the time, but when you go for stuff and you put in the work that's necessary and you end up, following that journey, following that path, it's amazing who you bump into, the people in your life that crop up, and the experiences that come your way. And it's something that, Matt's really, really right on there in terms of stopping those or getting rid of those patterns that you've been running for a long period of time. If you want to experience something else, you need to change those patterns and change your thoughts and beliefs. Otherwise, you're going to keep on going through the same experiences you've had before. And it may mean shedding your skin and going on a different journey to have people that have been in your life for a long time. They'll always be there, but you just maybe have to go after different things, and maybe time with them is a little bit less than it would be normally, or it was before, but these shackles had to be broken. I've had to do it before in my life, and I'm in the midst of doing it now. It's something that I've learned. If I want to expand and take my business and myself onto the next level, then I'm going to have to do things that, and remove people from my life, but just go on a different journey, and maybe end up seeing a few people a bit less than what I had before. But it's your life, and in a day, you're not going to be happy unless you really try and experience it and go for it. And they say, people don't regret the chances they took; they just regret the things they didn't go for. So it's a huge thing to do. I think is to go after what you want. So that's it for today's show, guys and girls. As I mentioned before, we've got our Revive Yourself shop. So if you're looking to boost your immune system, head on over to www.reviveyourself.co and then click on the shop, and you've got something, as I mentioned earlier, the Living Fuel, any of the greens drinks, the vitamin C, the probiotics, and the vitamin vitamin D3K2 can be powerful for fighting off any virus. Also, I've got my book at www.thechronicfatiguesolution.com. That's www.thechronicfatiguesolution.com. If you're dealing with chronic fatigue or any other chronic illness, this book's going to give you the basics of what you need to do, as well as other tips and protocols and 52 things you can implement straight away to boost your health and your immune system. And if you have been dealing with a chronic health issue and you haven't been able to get anywhere yourself, and you're looking for one-to-one support to overcome these issues and this problem, then please do send me an email at ryan@reviveyourself.co. That's ryan@reviveyourself.co, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, that's it for this week, guys and girls. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
If you're struggling with gut issues, such as gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, heartburn, and want to finally be able to eat the foods you love without the crippling after effects, then don't forget to head over to reviveyourself.co and pick up your free copy of The Healing Health Paradigm today.